Everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to read more Rhododendrons Mean Danger, found in our Trevor Own by That is Ebony Slug. Chapter 3, or Chapter 2, Living? Your chest burns. How long have you been running? You barely managed to breathe after Wyan bolted out of the shop. But Peter was still there, odd. But you never really knew what he did outside the program sequences. You thought you'd be safe, that maybe he was locked in some kind of waiting mode until the next event. But the sharp sound of his churn in your direction shattered that hope. Frick, frick, frick! You froze, straining your ears. Nothing. He could move quietly when he wanted to, like a predator stalking prey. What was he thinking? Waiting? Maybe you were just paranoid. Maybe you already left. You tried to calm your pounding heart, but quickly became aware of two things. One, Rose was nowhere to be seen. The faint clatter of something in the back signaled her absence. Two, someone else was breathing, and it wasn't you. Slowly you lifted your gaze from the flowers you've been pretending to admire, and locked eyes with him. Piercing blue eyes stared for the gap in the shelves, sharp and unwielding. Frick, adrenaline is a funny thing. You didn't even remember leaving the shop. The moment you made eye contact, instinct took over. The kind of primal fear that screams run. Fight wasn't an option. Fleeing was. You apologized to Rhodes later if you survived. Fumbling with your phone, you nearly dropped it as you pulled up the GPS. Take the next right, and your destination is on the left. Thank God! You rounded the corner sharply, legs burning as you split slowly to a jog. Then a exhausted walk. Every breath felt like fire. Ahead, an apartment building came into view. Yellow, generic, but somehow better than the roach-infested hole you used to call home. Wait, I don't know my floor or my apartment number. Panic welled up as you dug for your phone, desperately hoping the information was somewhere, anywhere. Please, please! Relief washed over you when you found it jolted in a note sap. First floor, thank God for small mercies. Your legs could only take so much. Okay. A1, A2, A3, A4. You stopped in front of apartment A4, panting, patted your pockets for one heart-stopping moment. You couldn't find the key, then felt in your hand and brushed it in your back pocket. Key poised at the lock, you hesitated. What would happen if you walked inside? This wasn't really your life, not entirely. Things seem fine so far, but what if something fell off? What if whoever you were here wasn't who you thought? Did this version of you have different hobbies, interests? You never know if you don't open the door, coward. Your inner voice never missed words. Slowly you unlocked the door. It opened with a soft creak, revealing a peaceful silence. Sunlight spilling through the windows, casting a warm glow of the modest living room. A dining table led into a small kitchen. It felt familiar, almost exactly like your old apartment, but better. No bullet holes, no peeling carpet, no screaming neighbors. Your body felt still as you stepped inside. The tension from earlier faded into a dull hum. At the back of your mind, the door clicked shut behind you. The faint scent of lemon cleaning supplies filled the air. He wandered through the space, taking the blend of familiar and familiar. A photogrammed book you owned, set at the shelf, your laptop still covered in stickers. Rest on a desk. Your favorite mug was tucked in the kitchen cabinet. It was comforting in a way, like you're meant to be here. A note on the fridge caught your eye. Hey, gonna be out tonight. Don't wait up for me. There are still leftovers in the fridge if you want them. See you tomorrow. The best roomie ever, Liz. Huh, Liz, your roommate. At least she seemed nice. You open the fridge, finding a small assortment of groceries, some takeout sauce packets, water bottles, frozen meals, leftover lasagna with garlic bread. Score, definitely eat that later. Leaving the kitchen, you wandered down the hallway. At the end of the bathroom, flanked by 2 doors, the one with butterfly stickers and affirmations scrawled across it was clearly Liz's. Then that left yours. You stood in front of it, frozen. What happens if I open it? What happens if I don't? You hesitating. Like always, shaking your head, you mutter, okay, just get it over with. You swung the door open. The door was yours, or a version of it. The bed sat at the same spot, a simple nightstand beside it, a dresser lined one wall, the closet another. It was alien yet familiar, like your body instinctively knew how to navigate it. A warm light drew your attention to the window. Sunlight painted the sky in a uncanny pinks, golden yellows, and burnt oranges. Parting the curtains, you opened the window and closed your eyes, breathing deeply for the first time all day. For a fleeting moment, everything felt okay until you opened your eyes and looked down the road, looked towards the road. Pierre was there, staring right at you. Pierre's point of view. It started like any other day. It always did. Pierre felt like a rat in a maze, running aimlessly, chasing something that might not even exist. Or was it there? Just out of reach. The monotony of it all was maddening. His goal remained the constant YN, the object of his desire, the light of his life, the only one who could possibly understand him, his reason for existing, his darling. Or at least, they were supposed to be. But today something was off. The YN sitting beside him wasn't them. There were dull, lifeless, a gray canvas, with vibrant color, should have been. He couldn't place what was wrong, but the denounced clawed at him. Still, he moved through the motions, repeating lines he practiced 100 times. It didn't matter how often he said them. They never came out right, especially not this time. Wyan seemed almost repulsed, their sneer slicing deeper than the words. When they rejected him, he stuck to the path, as he always did. He could see them at the rose shop. Pierre grumbled under his breath, frustration slimmering as he shoved his hands into his pockets. He kicked a loose rock, his gaze falling to the ground. Then something stopped him in his tracks. Time slowed. His heart hammered in his ears as he locked eyes onto someone further up the path. They stood fiddling with their phone, a slight crease in their brow. The sun bathed their skin in a golden glow, turning the mundane into something almost divine. They tucked a strand of hair behind their ear, revealing their face almost clearly. Pierre breath caught. The way they bit their lip, and thought sent a jolt through him. His chest tightened, his head spurned, and heat surged through his veins. He knew them. He had to. Every fiber of his being reacted to their presence. Every cell screaming for him to close the distance. Could it be them? No, he shook his head. Don't fool yourself. He watched as they stood and began walking down the path. His body leaned forward instinctively, but then he stopped himself. No YN. They were waiting for him at the rose shop. He had to follow the routine. He had to win them over. He had to. You can watch me, not the ration you won. Pierre grit his teeth. Their hostility grayed on his nerves. This wine was nothing but a pale imitation, ungrateful, unworthy of the love he so freely offered. Did they have any idea what he would do for them? The lengths he'd gone to? Who'd he kill for them? Before he could answer, they bolted from the shop. Pierre pinched the bridge of his nose, a sigh escaping him as frustration bubbled in just beneath the surface. Normally he would have followed. That was the script, but something held him back. A faint sound caught his ear, pointing his attention. Someone's hiding. His sharp eyes scanned the rows of flowers until they landed on a figure crouched behind a shelf. The scent of roses filled the air as Peter stepped closer, his movement silent, predatory. His gaze flickered to the blossoms, red ruby, the color of passion and love, before zeroing in on the gap in the shelf. And he saw them. Their eyes met his, wide and pant, familiar in a way that made his breath hitch. It's them. He knew those eyes. He memorized them, stared into them through the frickin' glow of the screen. For a moment he stood frozen, realization crashing over him like a wave. Then they moved, bolted from the shop in a blur of motion. Pierre blinked once, twice, his lips twitched into a grin. A toothy feral smile stretched across his face, sharp as a blade. It's them. They were here, finally. Here for him to adore, to worship, to keep, his darling. The shopkeeper's voice interrupted his thoughts, dragging him back to the present. All right, your name. How about I show you how to... Oh! She glanced around the shops, puzzled. Where did they go? Hearing her say their name sent a shiver through him. They were literal. Pierre's grin softened, his expression unreadable. He had to play this right. Ah, they got a phone call. Sound like emergency. The woman frowned, concern flickered across her face. Oh dear, I hope everything's all right. Everything's okay. Peter's hand clenched, his nails biting into his palm as excitement threatened to consume him. He turned to the roses, the flower that had unveiled his darling to him. Actually, he plucked one from the display, tearing it between his fingers as he turned back to the shopkeeper. Could you help me pick out something special? And that was chapter 2 of Rhododendrons Mean Danger. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, liking the video, and comment down below. I'll put the link in the description and in the pinned comments. I'll see you guys next time.